Howdy folks, it's a Tall Turtle here and welcome back to X-Plane 11. I know it's been a long time, but that's because I'm still doing the piano thing. Just to catch you up, I decided to delay my piano tuning an entire month because I wanted to get the humidity levels a little better adjusted and then acclimated so that the piano is just overall healthier, plays better, sounds better, that type of thing. And I'm also going to have some voicing work done and regulation done. And I really want to make sure the humidity was set. So I'm still cramming on piano every day. Well, not every day. Every free time I get, it's cram on the piano, polish up pieces. So when I record, it goes a lot more smoothly. And I'm also learning more pieces too. So I've been doing that in my free time instead of racing and flying. But today I'm like, you know what? I have a little bit of time and I need a break from the piano. I'm taking a day off from piano. So here we are, flying instead. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I'm going to try to sneak in a quick race as well. So, check for a racing video soon, maybe. Now that I said that, it probably won't happen, but I'm intending on trying. This flight today, I think, is actually going to be a little longer than I think. So it might be a late night for me here. We are going from somewhere in Russia, Union Hotel Sierra, which is Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk. Sakhalinsk in Russia. And we're going to fly over some water and go to Japan. What is this one? It is the Romeo Juliet Echo Romeo Rishiri in Hokkaido, Japan, I guess. And we're in our favorite plane, the B-1900D. For those of you who are new here, this was the first payware aircraft I got way back when X-Plane 10 was new. This is obviously the X-Plane 11 version. It was my favorite plane because this was my children's very first plane ride. I wasn't there, unfortunately. They were with Grandma and Grandpa, but this is what they flew in. Very first time they were ever in a plane. In fact, they've been in planes like this way more than commercial flights, and that's because of Grandpa and Grandpa. So there's a story there. One more little interesting thing is I listened to a very old video of mine because someone left a comment, and I wanted to watch it to see what they were talking about. And my voice sounded so much better back then. Not sure why. I have the same microphone, same settings, same recording software, same everything except different computer, which would mean different sound card. So apparently my super expensive high-end gaming rig has a crappier sound card than my laptop from 6 years ago. It just sounded so much better. Don't know why. It's kind of weird. Or maybe it's my head. Or maybe it's my speakers, because I was listening to some piano music the other day and it sounded god-awful. Could be lots of things. And my family's been sick for over a month. We're better today, but yeah, kids miss a lot of school. So there you go. There's some backstory. Some of you love it, some of you hate it, but that's where it is. That's how it is. Anyway, let's move on. Told you where we are. As always, description and details are in the description below. Description of the flight. Details of the flight. Always in the description below in case I forget to mention it. Let's get in this and get started because, like I said, I think this is going to be a lot longer flight than I realize, which means I'm going to be up very late and I probably won't get to racing. Oh well, let's see. Let's see how this goes. All right, power's already on using the GPU. If you want to see what it looks like while people are bored, here we go. All the lights are on. Let's get the fuel set first. I don't know how long this flight is. I think it's going to be very long. So let's crank this up to 2.5. Hopefully we won't have to do in-flight refueling. Real world weather is turned on. Finally, I'm also sitting in a brand new gamer chair because it's also my office chair. I work at home most of the time, 9 hours a day. And my other cheap, crappy chair after 2 years was wearing out, giving me severe pain. And so now I have a gamer chair, which is funny because a lot of people say they're just for the looks and they're actually crappy, and other people say they're the best thing for you, and I think they're amazing. My chair is amazing, and I'm actually using the lumbar support, which I've never done before. So here I am. My head nicely rests against my pillow, and my back is supported. It's very nice. All right, so here we go. Fuel, we just did battery. Come on. There you go. Battery, where are you? Over here. It's been a long time since we've flown this plane, especially considering this is our favorite plane. It's been a very, very long time. Tail flood. I still have wing logo. I should say tail flood. Recog. Remove static elements. We're going to hop outside for that. Where are you? There you are. Close the doors. Passenger, no, baggage door will be from here. Let's hop inside to do the passenger door. There's a click spot down here somewhere. Somewhere there's a click spot. Really? I know it's there. Let's stop wasting time and let's just do it this way. Come on. Wow, my mouse clicks are not registering for some reason. Alrighty, well, let's hop in here and do this door, which should be here. Where was it? I saw you. There you go. There we go. Alright, and we also have to close our wing windows. Only that one is open today. This can, in real life, be single pilot operation, depending on the company rules. That is true. Emergency normal and arm. EFSIS, and why am I getting a whole bunch of emails in the background? I apologize for that, but because I'm a manager where I work, I need to be on call 24/7, just in case. So I always have to have my phone making sounds. A lot of times I just hit pause and edit it out when I do have to actually tend to work super late at night, but right now I just have to listen to it. All right, parking brake, where are you? Parking brake is set. Fuel switches can all come on. We will view the main tank. And then the auxiliary, this just views the tanks. It doesn't select the tanks, and it uses auxiliary first. All right, what does this say? Prop lever to feather. Where's my thing? Where's my preset for that? There it is. Let's reset all those actually. And these are still working in the back. Yes, they are. Okay. Auto engine auto igniter. There we go. Ignition switch, hold until 15. Where are you? Can't. Let's do right answer first. Hold until 15, which is in the far top right corner, which says turbine. As soon as that gets to 15, we will introduce low idle. And there's 15 low idle, which I just did right here. And one axis on my yoke for both, so they both go up. Once that stabilizes, we will do the other engine. There we go. We're actually going to do the generator first, and then we'll do the other engine. Again, wait till 15, but this time it's just going to shoot up because the conditioner is already forward. And there we go. Left generator and close the guard. All right, auto igniters come off so we don't ruin the engines. Avionics switch is here. AC bus is here. And turn off external power. Rudder boost is between the seats. There we go. Climate. Do we have any climate to worry about? Yeah, bleed air valves, blowers, manual temperature. Increase furnace on. Test the overspeed. Test the stall. And put the yoke back in. Alright, flight plan and GPS. Not a very complicated flight plan. But we will put something in here. We are going to go direct to Romeo. Was it Romeo Juliet? Romeo and Juliet. Echo Romeo. Romeo. I also will acknowledge that my phonetic alphabet is starting to falter a little bit. And I'm starting to make up words for some of the letters. I am aware of that. Some people have been calling me out. That's fine. Go ahead. I'm not terribly worried about it. If I want to say eggnog for E, I will. Even though I know it's Echo. I always say Juliet for J because that is my favorite name. I have two boys. Had I had two girls, they were going to be Sophie and Juliet. Had it all picked out. Then I had two boys. But now that I have two boys, I can't imagine having girls. And I know if I had girls, I wouldn't be able to imagine having boys. As a parent, nature takes over, and whatever you think you know doesn't matter. You just end up, acclimating quite easily. All right, only 118 nautical miles. That's not far at all. This is going to be a shorter flight than... It's hard to plan this part of the world because of the curvature and where it is, and you don't have references. And you can't type in Google Russia to Japan distance. It just doesn't work that way, so you have to estimate. My estimation was actually over. Good. All right. I want to know if there is an approach. I couldn't find one because I'm really bad about finding international approach plates, except for Canada and Mexico. I have those figured out, but I don't know if there's an instrument approach. If there is, I don't know how to get it. So what we're going to do once we're in the air is we're going to just use what's in the GPS, and then I'll hop over to SkyVector and Google the fixes and see if anything applies. If not, we'll just do a completely visual landing. So that's how it's going to be. What do we need to do? Vertical nav, way too early for that. Procedure, way too early for that. So that takes care of our flight plan. We are going to use autopilot, obviously. Avidyne, already cleaned that up a little bit. Radios, instruments, nothing there to do. We're going to cruise today, 118. We're going to cruise at 16,000. Yeah, it's not a very long flight. Alrighty. Altimeter barometer, that we can do. Because we do a real world weather turned on. See, we're on like this island off of Russia, and we're going to head to Japan. Let's see, right here. Well, that's a different name in the sim than it is in real life. Oh, I updated my nav data today, by the way. So everything's updated. Do we have ATIS, first of all? No, we don't. 294, though. There we go. Wind from 20 degrees at 11 knots. So takeaway is 0, that's a 2. What runway is closest to 2? 1, which would be 10 degrees, which means we want to use this runway down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to burn a U-turn and then follow this Boeing, and that'll bring us here. We probably won't need a back taxi, but we might just do a midfield takeoff. So burn a U-turn, and then whenever we get to the runway, probably just take off halfway down. That is a really long runway. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Very, very, very simple. Do we put this yoke back in? Actually, not quite yet. Cabin pressure down here. We're going to cruise at 16, so you want to set this to 17. I'm going the wrong way, I think. So you have to imagine in real life this is a plastic cover over the window here, and there's a line in the middle. And you go like that. And then this, you just spin all the way around, and you mess with it. And tell us what you want, and as long as these needles stay in the green, you're fine. If they're in the red, you're dead. All right, auto feather to arm. Where are you? Wow, it's been a long time. Generator tires closed. Yeah, you betcha. Auto ice. We're not going to do the engine because that's how we start on fire. Stall warning, pitot heat. We're not touching anything else. Just the prop to auto. That is it. Everything else seems to start on fire. Very strange. All right, and it seems to just be me. But I've had consistent results, so I don't know what's going on. Prop sync on. There we go. That is it for the first page of my checklist. Next page of my checklist, getting ready to taxi. Yes, my checklists are all paper. Taxi lights on. Props to taxi. Where's my prop view? Is it this one? It is that one. Prop view to taxi. And I'm trying to keep my personal volume down because I've noticed in editing I have a lot of audio bleed, especially in the racing games, which is why it sounds kind of funny. But I want to put here what I'm doing. All right, conditions low idle. Confirm they are. Begin taxi. Okay, put my checklist aside because we're just going to taxi now. So, release that parking brake. Give it some throttle to break free of all the static. We're not going to do a pushback. We're just going to, oh dear. We're just going to go around those cones. And we're going to go around here. Oh, look out for the baggage. Oh, we made it. Nice. See? Those racing skills come in handy, don't they? Alrighty, we're just going to taxi. Why is my taxi view so screwed up? Interesting. And what version of X-Plane are we on? I don't know. Whatever it says in the description. Let's see. Doesn't look like too much of an interesting taxi. Let's quickly look at the airport because somebody put a bunch of work into this. Yes, they did. We'll look at those mountains. I'm sure Russia's a very beautiful place. I don't know a whole lot about Russia other than it's expansive. And I'm sure it's like the US where there's a lot of diversity in terms of, well, there's that Boeing taking off. In terms of landscape and stuff. For example, people in Europe, and I have a lot of European friends because of the internet, right? They all think the entire US is either Los Angeles and New York or like Wyoming, the state of Wyoming, right? They think it's either nothing except desert and hilly desert aside from New York and LA. And I tell them New York, LA, Las Vegas, those places, that's the minority representation of the entire country. Most of the country is like, you know, Minneapolis, Memphis, like the Midwestern-y type things. That's kind of the majority of the rest of the country. Because even after LA, heading east, you go to Las Vegas, and then it's desert-y. But then you get to like the Plain States, then you have the Midwestern states, and then over to the east is obviously more dense because it's the east. But it's not like New York. It's not like Wyoming. So they'll come here for whatever reason, and they'll come to Minneapolis, and they'll be like, huh, this is not what I expected. I'm like, exactly. But this is kind of funny. However, my point being, I'm sure Russia's the same way, so it's not super cold, snowy all the time. In fact, I think they have pretty extreme weather in Russia. I think it's the type of thing where one day they're wearing coats and hats and they're freezing, and then the next day they're wearing tank tops and shorts because it's super hot, and then the day after that it snows, and 3 days later it's hot. I think it's like that in most of it, but again, I'm generalizing and contradicting my whole little speech. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you viewers are from Russia, and I appreciate it. Let me know, what is Russia really like, especially where we are today in the sim. What is the weather like there? Based on the mountains and trees, I'm guessing it's quite gorgeous, weather-wise and scenery-wise, scenic-y. Anyway, this is my ramble because I usually cut out the taxi, and all the ground stuff is just as important as the flight stuff, right? We've talked about that before. Alrighty, let's see here. I feel like I'm really stinking low today in the airplane. I don't know why. Something happened with my views. Let me readjust this and save it as preset 1. Come on, center. Whoop. Center on the screen and talk about for my view. Save as 1. There we go. Alrighty, that looks better. Because in this plane, you cannot see the nose. This plane in like the Baron, even if you're super tall, your forehead is looking at that, at this thing here. I put the parking brake on. Parking brake, please. We're not gonna stop? Are you serious? Let's try that again. There we go. That's happened before. Alrighty, so what are we doing? Flaps down first notch. There we go. Whoop. Landing lights on. Nav lights on. Send that to that. Turn off the overhead flood. Turn off the cabin. That just leaves reading. So back here, it's just your reading lights. Everybody's heads are plastered to the window. That's how I am in real life. What is next? I'm doing all this from memory. Flaps down, lights, taxi, landing, collision, nav, trim for takeoff. I usually over trim this. Let's put it more towards the middle today. Cruise altitude, we did that. Autopilot setup, yes. In this airplane, we can do this ahead of time. What are we going to do? We're just, is it 2 buttons, right? Climb. Oh no, it isn't. It's this. I thought you could just do climb. Let's do 1800 feet per minute today. And let's do nav. So the nav will do GPS. And I'll select vertical speed 1800. Boom. Okay. Heading bug, we'll do heading bug when we get out on the runway. So I should actually probably bring this down for that. So at the stopwatch, we've got the runway, high idle, and props forward. So let's take the parking brake off. Let's get out on the runway. We are going to do midfield takeoff. We are STOL, which if you don't know, simply means short takeoff and landing. I don't want to take for granted that everybody knows what everything means, because I've been doing this a while. A lot of my viewers have been doing it longer than me, but a lot of you haven't done it much at all. So STOL, short takeoff and landing. We can take off in a short amount of time. We can stop on a dime. Between reversers and brakes, this thing takes no stopping distance. So you can land on a postage stamp. And if it's insanely windy, we can land like a helicopter. We've done that before too. All right, let's see here. No peripheral vision. I really am thinking about getting track IR, by the way. We'll see. I want to save my money though for Flight Sim 2020 as well. Okay, here we go. Let's do this, and let's set that parking brake again. Set heading bug. We do that to runway heading in case we screwed up autopilot. We go straight. Conditioners high, props high. Start the stopwatch, which is right there. And release parking brake. And spool up. And away we go. And we'll do full power for 5 minutes, or we have up to 5 minutes before we start on fire. Whoa, I'm having a hard time going straight here. A little bit of wind really can mess things up. Come on, you're gonna take out. Why aren't you lifting off? Thank you. What is going on today? Oh my yoke is all the way to the right. Is it windy or is it me? I don't know. Let's engage autopilot right now because we can. We will often hand fly for a while, but let's be different and not. Gear up, flaps up, by the way, I already did that. You can hear it now. We can't see the flaps because that's in the way, but gears up. Boom. There we go. And we're climbing 1800. That's it. That's all she wrote. Let's just make sure we don't run into terrain. That's simple. So like I said, normally in this plane we'll hand fly for a while, but today let's just do autopilot right away. Alrighty, what do we need to do? We need to do some engine management here before things blow up. So it's super simple. Just bring back throttles and props until everything's in the green. That's what I got to do. And by green, I mean the gauge is in the middle. Bring back props a little bit. There we go. So starting at the top. Green, 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 green. Of course, in real life, you need to be a little more specific than that, or a lot more specific than that. But it's a simulation, and we get what we get out of it. Half of it meaning we get what the sim offers us. The other half is we put into as much whatever we want, right? Alrighty, there we go. The airplane will take us to our line, and then we're going to go to our destination. Now it says 30 minutes, but that's going to shoot way down very quickly once we level off at 16 grand. So let's do some quick look outside here. And then we have to do VNAV, and then we have to see if there's an approach. So more flight management in this flight than actual sightseeing probably. Look at that. The mountains. And the shaders. I'm really appreciating the shaders. When I look back at that old video someone commented on, I didn't realize how cartoonish X-Plane 10 was. I'm really appreciating the shaders and the haze in X-Plane 11. It's really nice. Look at that. I'm taking a bunch of screenshots. Wow. Let's just enjoy this together for a moment before I ramble even more. Okay, that was the quickest sightseeing ever, I know, but let's hop back in here and let's see what do we need to do. We need to do VNAV. We can't do VNAV until we know our approach. So let's see what we have for approach options. First of all, do we know the weather yet? Is this short enough flight we can get the weather? Where are we going? Is it here? Oh yeah, look at that. RJER. What do we have for weather? Same weather. So we want whatever runway is closest to 2, which in this case will be 7. So we want runway 7. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. Because I'm curious what the sim is going to tell us to do. Okay. Okay. Procedure. Select approach. Yeah. Localizer on 25. We don't want 25. VDM A and B. Here's the problem. Because I don't have the plates, I don't know what VDM A and B are. I assume we want one of those, maybe B? Probably. But I don't know. So we're not going to do an approach. Now if we want to runway 25, that's easy. So we're going to back out of this. And we're just going to do it visually. Or if we had ATC, of course ATC would tell us. So what we're going to do for VNAV is we're going to do, we want to get there about 500 feet above. And at the airport. At 800 feet per minute. There we go. So 23 minutes. Well, again, that's going to shoot down once we level off. So in about 10 minutes, we're going to come down. Or so. That is it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly to the airport. We will either fly over it and do a traffic pattern to land runway 7, or based on the terrain and we know what it looks like, we'll probably just come out between these islands and then land on runway 7. But it'll be visual. So either, ooh, there's a big mountain here. Look at that. So we'll figure it out. We'll either fly over there, we'll either fly over it, make a U-turn, or we'll just set ourselves out depending on what happens when we get there. Okay, so that's going to shoot down. That's going to shoot down. So that is it for me for now. A little bit of sightseeing for you. Let's check those engines one more time. let's get some more throttle back in. Let's just get there as fast as we can. And I'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright, we're about to head out over open water, and you can see our destination here. There's that huge mountain on the map, so the airport's right about there. So we'll get a little bit closer, and then we'll use the heading bug or fly manually to make a little loop around to land on runway 7. We'll have a crosswind from the left. And it's above 10 knots, so it's going to feel like a hurricane. Alrighty, descent to target. Yes, it is. 799, that's exactly on, so it should just be one touch descend. Actually, hang on. We have to do this. We go down to what are we going down to? We'll set this. Yeah, let's set it to 500. We can go all the way down to 500, I think. We'll just be around the water. Will it even go that low? Yes, it will. We do alt select? No, we do descend. Shoot. Now alt select. I did that backwards. It was supposed to be simply hit descend. Defaults at 800, and then it automatically does alt select. Darn it! I was all excited to show you the one touch descent, and I screwed it up. Oh well. Anyway, let's descend a little bit. I don't think we have anything. Yes, we do. We need to be careful of our speed. I'm going to bring back throttles a little bit so we don't overspeed. Otherwise, we're just going to descend, keep an eye on our VSR, keep it close to 800 as possible, and a little bit more sightseeing. I'll catch you in a moment. Alrighty, it's time to do something. I think we are 5 minutes out. But remember, we need to create a little traffic pattern for ourselves because we don't have ATC and we don't have an instrument approach. So let's zoom that on a little bit. How are we doing on this? 1,000. So we need to come down faster, it says, but we're not going to because we're going to actually be extending our trip a little bit by going around. Whoops, I bumped something. Let's bring back throttles a little bit so we don't overspeed. And let's enjoy that mountain scene. Wow, in fact, the whole area is really awesome. I didn't realize we'd be able to see all these islands from each other. Like you can see the island with the mountain, and you can see one over there. And I think you can see the mainland. Ooh, barely see the mainland, and then you have this thing over there. Very cool. Very hazy, but at least you get to use road weather. Alrighty, so I can't see our airport yet, unless I got the binoculars, but it's there somewhere. We're pointing right at it. Then what we'll do eventually when we get closer is we'll use the heading bug, and we will use the heading bug to guide us around, or maybe we'll just hand fly at that point. I haven't decided. Maybe we'll hand fly. It's been a long time. You just can't sightsee at all when we hand fly, so I have to get the sightseeing out of the way before we do that. So our airport is over there to the left. We're actually not aiming there. We're aiming to the right of it for some reason, which is going to be fine. I don't know why. That's kind of strange, but that's just how it is. All right, let's do a little bit of sightseeing together, and then we really need to fly an airplane. Let's actually take a screenshot of that. That's awesome. You see the cities along the coast. That's super cool, or something along the coast. And now the island over there. And in fact, we already have flight plans to do some island hopping out here in a future video, probably the next one. We'll see. So I already planned on doing some more in this area, and I'm glad I did because this is awesome. Look at that mountain there. That is so cool. Alrighty, we're going really fast. So let's hand fly. Let's hand fly. Take off autopilot. There we go. And bring our throttles a lot. There is our runway, and boy, the wind just took over or something. Mind your altitude, so we're still going to descend, but we're going to create a traffic pattern so we can land on the most appropriate runway. We'll still have a strong crosswind landing from the left, though. So we'll talk about how we're going to attempt to execute that. Hopefully the landing in this goes well. I used to have it mastered, but it's been a very long time. In fact, it's been a long time since I've flown anyway, so we'll do the best I can. Plus, I'm in a new chair, and that actually makes a huge difference. Alright, so we're flying by the runway now. Let's set our heading bug to 70 degrees. I can't really see down there to get it set. There we go. Let's just zoom it all the way around. There's 370. Come on, I'm trying to do it while I look out the window. This is very difficult. 69, 72, 70, 70. There. Boom. So the heading bug is runway heading. So we're pretty much parallel to the runway. We should see it right there. There it is. Oh, look at that awesome mountain. Look at that. That is so cool. Alrighty, we got a fly plane though. And I'm trying to get farther from my microphone, but I'm trying to put comfort in my chair over microphone distance. Alright, 2,000 feet. Let's actually go out a little bit more. Give yourself a little wider berth here. Let's start slowing down a little bit more. Let's see, what do we need? The landing lights are still on. Everything is the way we need it. We really don't have to do anything other than props forward. Conditioners are already forward, and then land. Right, what do I have for my land checklist while I'm trying to fly a plane and look out the window and look at the gauges? Yep, barometer, same thing. So we're set. We're just going to keep an eye on that heading bug so we know runway orientation. And we just know we have to make a really sharp U-turn. So let's keep the speed for a moment. Can we look outside one more time? Keep in mind we are hand flying. I don't think we can look outside. Let's come down a little bit. We're at 2,200. Let's look outside for 1 second. Let's try. Oh boy. We can really mess stuff up. We can really mess stuff up if we look outside. Let's fly a plane instead. Alright, let's make our U-turn while we come down. Maintain our descent. Needs to be a sharp U-turn. Keep an eye on our descent rate though, especially over water. It's really hard to tell how high you are, so we'll rely on our gauges. Let's not slow down into the white arc yet. Let's just tease that 160. And we really need to get around this corner because we're not going to line up with the runway. Come on, keep going. Our speed is perfect. Our descent is a little steep though, so let's give a little bit more throttle so we don't descend any more than that. And let's keep churning. And when that heading bug comes around the corner, we should pretty much see the runway. It's going to be a visual approach and landing. So we are going to look out the window for this one. And we overshot the runway, I think, by quite a bit, so I don't see it, which is a bummer. I don't want to do a go around. Uh-oh, don't stall. Is that the weather updating? Yep. I don't see the runway. We don't have ATC to help us. This is going to be tricky. Actually, I think the runway is right here. So let's come back out here. Let's do gear down our first set of flaps. Let's keep our speed about 130 or so. We are ascending, which is actually not a bad idea. Let's just try to maintain level flight right here. Props forward. Let's use throttle so we don't descend until we have the runway in sight. Where is that runway? Where is it? I know it's there. I know it's there somewhere. Come on, where are you? Let's keep level flight, please, until we have the runway in sight. If we have to do a go around, we will. Where is it? Where'd you go? I think it's behind those trees. So again, throttles to maintain level flight. And let's look for that runway. It has to be over here somewhere. It has to be around here. Where are you? There it is. Runway is in sight. Let's line up with it. We know the runway orientation based on the heading bug. Let's bring back throttle so we start descending. And there we go. And we got 1 white, 3 red, so we're good. Throttles so we don't descend too much because we want to be 2 and 2. There's 2 and 2. So now let's go 500-foot drop. Now there's 3 again. We want to slow down, so let's nose up to slow down. Bring back throttles to maintain descent. Second set of flaps. We're going to touch between the arcs so that we don't stall out in this. Oh, so we need more throttle and pitch down for that speed. Keep that speed. Well, I'm having a hard time containing this. Not a bad crosswind from the left, but there's a little crosswind from the left, so we'll do left main down first, right rudder with left wing down, firm touchdown. Don't want to grease a crosswind landing, very dangerous. 2 and 2. Here we go. So what is a left main down, right rudder, I think? Yeah. Okay, nose down, keep that speed. Keep the throttle going a little bit. We don't want to land short of the airfield. Well, come on. Here we go. We can do this. Let's go silent and try to land this airplane. And that was terrible. We didn't bounce. Nose wheel down on its own. There we go. Reversers. Oh, that was bad. Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. And what? Why did we just do a wheelie? That was weird. Okay. Oh, gosh, that was terrible. Flaps are in. And I'm a lost cause at this point. I think we need a back taxi. So let's slow down and back taxi. And let's just park this. Oh, man, am I rusty. Oh, I am so rusty. That's okay. All right, we're just going to back taxi here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dudes, come on. Oh, my gosh. Let's start cleaning up this autopilot here. Oh, come on. Get all that turned off. There we go. Where are we headed? We are headed over here somewhere, I think. The only good thing about that landing was that I got the nose wheel down very gently. Everything else is terrible. But we didn't bounce. We didn't bounce. All right, let's see. Let's slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. And the conditioners to low idle. Props to taxi. 37-minute flight time. Let's get our taxi lights on, landing lights off. And we can come up here. No, I said up here. Get these lights on. Oh, come on. so people can start gathering their belongings. Trying to do all this with one person. All right, let's see, where are we going? We're just going straight, right? Yeah, we're just literally going straight. So let's just do that. Whew, sigh, a breath of relief there. Sigh of relief, breathe, whatever you want to call it. All right, we'll just do this taxi together. We're almost there. All right, or I don't hit that other plane. I'm just gonna go right to the hangar so they can check for damage. And stop at the 7-Up machine. And parking brake is set. Okay, shutting this thing down. Taxi lights off, all external lights off. Whoop, I keep using the wrong preset because other airplanes did something else. Turn our lights off except tail flood. That can all stay the same. Alright, fuel back and props back. My favorite sound. Here we go. And bring the conditioners back. That'll turn everything off. Come over here and turn on external power. Ah, look at that. Now we can turn off whatever we want. We can just push buttons all day if we want to. But pretty much just make sure this stuff comes off right there. Yep, that's it. Open the wing window. See if we have extra underwear in the cabinet, because then we might need it. And we might even have courtesy changes to underwear for our patrons as well. Alrighty, let's hop outside and let's get the baggage door open so people can get their stuff and set up static elements. And there you have it. Whoops, a simple flight, much shorter than I thought. Very rusty in this aircraft from everything from startup to landing to shutdown, but we will get back in this regularly. We've done hundreds of flights in this plane, so I just want to diversify a little bit. So we won't come back to this for quite a while, but we will eventually. It'll be part of our ongoing series that we are doing, where we do a plane for a lot of flights just to get used to it, learn it well, and then jump to another plane, things like that. We're still doing that. I just have to start another series because I was going to do the 727, but those flights are just so involved. That needs to be like a dessert airplane. It can't be a regular airplane. Alrighty, that'll do it for us. And we're going to clean the rust off and come back to this area for the next one and do a little bit of island hopping. And I'll see you then.